What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show. And today I want to talk with you guys about the cost of going to either jail or prison. Now, when you think about the cost of getting locked up, a lot of things probably come to mind. Did you know on average it costs anywhere between $31,000 to $60,000 per inmate per year to keep somebody locked up? And you know that money doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's the taxpayers footing that bill. There could be other things that come to mind as well when you think about the cost of serving time. It could take a toll on your family, your friends, your loved ones, your girlfriend. Jody could come into the picture. You're gonna learn while getting locked up that Jody ain't just a boogeyman up underneath your bed. He is a real person. The cost of serving time could also pertain to the mental anguish that a person is going to go through while incarcerated. Serve enough time, you're going to come home broken and damaged, dealing with all sorts of mental issues, PTSD, depression, social anxiety disorder, and probably a list of all sorts of other things as well. You know, the mental toll that time can take on a person is such a real thing that while serving time, there was this little prison urban legend that I used to hear about, saying that if you've served anything more than I think like a year, you could come home and qualify for disability, meaning that you could get a check just because you've served time. You know, when I came home after serving the 7 years, I attempted to do something similar. I didn't exactly go after the disability check. However, I did try to get food stamps. But because of my drug-related offenses, I couldn't get those. But you know, it's crazy to think that somebody with those bad type of charges could get that government assistance. I mention all that I have thus far because when you think about the cost of doing time, that could pertain to so much. But in this video, we are going to focus on the financial aspect of the true cost of doing time. And trust me when I tell you, I think some of what you're going to hear in this video will shock you. So with all of that, what do you say we go ahead and dive head first into this video. Boy, Joe was nice with that dive right there. That was a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for that dive. Folks, the reason I wanted to address this topic is because I just recently ran across this absolutely insane story. Now, this story took place back in 2015, and it wasn't but a year after this story broke that they completely shut this down. But what I want you to keep in mind as I share this with you, how long did this take place for? And think about the effect that this had on individuals who had to deal with this, who were serving time in this state. This story took place in a local jail in a place called Marion, Ohio. And it was at this jail where they were running what is referred to as pay to stay for the prisoners. Now, there's two entirely different types of pay to stay type jails, and we're going to talk about both of those in this video. But the pay to stay that was taking place at this local jail in Ohio meant that people who were getting locked up in this jail had to pay per day that they were locked up. And this isn't something that's surprising to me at all, because here in the state of Virginia, at most all of the jails here, they run that same type of pay to stay operation. At every jail that I've been to in the state of Virginia, and I've been to 5 of them, I am not proud of that at all, but at every single one of them, they are charging you anywhere between $1 to $5 a day. In fact, at the last jail that I was at, Western Tidewater Regional Jail, where I would spend 25 months at before going to prison, they were charging $3 a day. And what this meant was you were spending $21 a week to be locked up, and if you were getting money sent in to you for commissary, they were taking all the money that you owed for that pay to stay off tops first. And so imagine getting $25 sent in to you for commissary, but you've been in the jail for a week. You owe them $21. You're left with a whopping $4 to be able to spend on commissary. And what's that going to get you really? Maybe a bag of coffee, a bar of soap, and a single ramen noodle. Boy, look at you. You maxed out at the store, didn't you? Nobody doing commissary like you. You got a whole bag of coffee, a soup, and a soap. Boy, you flexing on them. You know, your loved ones are going to have to send you a lot of money just for you to be able to make commissary. Let's say that you ain't paid that in a month. 21 times 4 is $84. $84. So if your loved one sends you $100 a month, 84 of that off rip is going to that pay to stay. And if you were a prisoner like me, really feeling the cost of being locked up, where your loved ones have said, enough, we done with you, Joe. We are done with you, Joey. You have been nothing but a problem. We've got to turn our back. It's the only solution. I couldn't be mad at them for that, but I had nobody. Nobody was sending me no money. So every week that I was locked up, that was another $21 they was tacking on to what I was going to owe when I got released. And I was in this jail for over 25 months. Then go ahead and tack on to that everything in jail and prison costs money, far outside of your commissary and that pay to stay. We're talking about going to medical. And through those 25 months that I spent at that jail, I was going to medical like twice a month. Your boy was dealing with some monster migraines. I was in a chaotic situation. It was like an adult Chuck E. Cheese in this place. And with its fair share of violence and gangs, and not to mention all the stress that I was dealing with, I was getting headaches all the time. So much, in fact, that every time I went to medical, I was telling these people, I think I got a brain tumor. You need to get me a CAT scan or an x-ray or something. You got to figure out what's wrong. I'm not trying to die in here. And you know what this doctor did when I told him that? I told this doctor I think I got a brain tumor, and this man literally went like this. No brain tumor. Nope, you're good. You are good. I don't know why you're a doctor in a jail. They should have you on a TV show. You didn't even need a CAT scan to give me that diagnosis. Folks, I could have legit died in there. But I share that with you because anytime that you write a sick call slip to go see a nurse or a doctor, you're getting charged $5 to $10. And then if they do decide to offer you any kind of a medication, it's probably only going to be Tylenol. You're paying for that as well. So not only are you paying for that pay to stay, you're going to pay for medical. And then God forbid you're anything like me who doesn't get any money sent in and you've got to hustle to survive. I was doing tattooing. I was hiding my tattoo stuff inside of my mattress, which I was tearing apart. I got caught with a torn apart mattress one time. That's destruction of state property. A mattress that you could get off of eBay for, I don't know, 20 bucks. They were charging me anywhere between like $75 and $100 for this mattress. That ain't no silly Posturepedic. I ain't about to pay no $75 to $100 for that. I can make you something better than that. Give me a couple of toilet paper rolls. Getting locked up can be quite expensive. When I came home after serving the 7 years that I would, and after those 25 months that I spent in the jail, I came home with a bill for the city of Suffolk for over $6,000. And I don't even think my court fines were over $2,000. So in 25 months, I ran up a $4,000 bill. Hey, yeah, my credit's good. Just go ahead and put that on my tab. I'm good for it. I know I already owe you $4,000. Go ahead and put another mattress on there. Matter of fact, hey, round of mattresses on me. All y'all tear this shit up. But folks, if I thought $3 a day was bad and coming home with a $6,000 bar tab for this jail was something, oh, this ain't nothing in comparison to what was taking place down in Ohio. And to be honest with you, I can't even believe they got away with this for as long as they did. I'm really curious to know how long this actually took place. Folks, when I read how much they were charging prisoners per day to stay at this jail, this is absolute extortion. This jail in Ohio called the Multi-County Correctional Center was charging prisoners $50 a day. Man, you could get a Motel 6 for about that price. Then go ahead and add on to that they're charging you an additional $100 booking fee. What do these people think they was? Travelocity? Trivago? Expedia? Priceline? I can't think of any more websites like that. That's crazy. They're going to charge you $100 to get booked into this place. $50 a day. You got $150 off tops just for getting locked up, even if you make bond. Somebody call the guy who's running this jail and let him know he ain't running no Best Western. Where they think people are going to come up with this type of money? If you get locked up, a big part of why you're probably getting locked up is either one, you're dealing with some drug problems, or two, you're having a hard time holding down a job, finding a job, or making money. A lot of crime is committed just because of money, trying to get money. And the reason this was such a big story was because prisoners were getting released owing crazy amounts of money. This one guy in particular, David Mahoney, owed $21,000, and he ain't the only one. There were dudes who were owing 23, 26, 30-something, even $50,000 just for staying in this jail. Now imagine this, you get locked up down here, you're already gonna be dealing with court fines, whatever your court-appointed lawyer is gonna cost you, or if you are in a position fortunate enough to be able to hire your own lawyer, which is gonna probably cost you something close to what these guys owed, you know it's already gonna seem like an unsurmountable obstacle to try to overcome coming home and trying to pay off the court fines and obligations that you have. Maybe some back child support. Then go ahead and throw into the mix that you owe $20,000+ just for being locked up in a jail. You know, to be completely honest with you, it almost sounds like the reason they was doing this because this was free money for them. They know ain't nobody gonna be able to pay this, and with the fact that they can't pay this, guess what? Guess where they're gonna end up at again? Back in this Best Western / extortion ring of a jail. And you know, with the fact that they're charging $50 a day plus a $100 booking fee just to be brought into this place, it really makes me wonder, where's that $31,000 to $60,000 a year that they're getting per inmate going? Now, with all of this, the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU of Ohio, definitely got involved in this, saying that this thing has to absolutely be eradicated. This ain't no way to be running any type of jail, hoping that, you know, people are going to be able to get out and do the right thing. You're giving them 1 foot right back in the jail with a $20,000 tab that they're owing on top of everything else that they're probably already owing upon getting released. And on average, what this jail was billing annually was over $2 million a year. This is what they were billing to the prisoners who were getting released, over $2 million a year. And they would have the collection agencies begin calling these people, blowing their phones up. Hey, where's our money at? You was in our jail, weren't you? Where's the money at? They said on average of that $2 million that they were billing every single year, they were only collecting between $60,000 and $70,000 of that. That's about a 3% collection rate. $60,000 to $70,000 is a brand new F-250 Super Duty 6.2 flex fuel truck. I wonder what the guy who's running this jail is driving. He probably got him a Ferrari with some wings on it. And I ain't talking about the thing on the back of the doors that lift up. I'm talking about some actual wings. This man probably got the first car that can fly. But like I had said, the story first came out in 2015, and I really wanted to see if this was still taking place now, being 2019. And when I looked into this, I found an article that came out just the very next year in 2016 saying Central Ohio Jail ends pay to stay. Civil Liberties have long called for the end of this pay to stay, this $50 a day plus that $100 booking fee. And what they ended up saying was, they don't say that they ended this because of the ACLU. They say that they ended this because they were having a hard time making collections. You know who else was making collections? Tony Soprano. Well, this jail was like the mafia. Hey, you got our money? You got our money? You owe us $21,000. Well, they thought they was some sure enough bookies or something. So as crazy as all of that is, I'm really glad to hear that they ended this because it's absolute preposterousness to me. I don't even know if that's a word, preposterousness. It's absolutely preposterous to me that they would try to do something like this, that they did do something like this. And I'm so curious to know, how long did this went on? How many lives did this actually affect where people were like, you know what? I just can't do it. Not only do I owe all these court fines, I owe this jail as well. Hey, you got something for me to sell? Because I'm ready. I'm ready to hit the block again. I got to box some of these damn bar tabs for this jail. Give me the pack. Give me the pack. Give me the pack. Give me the pack now. And you know, with the fact that this has ended back in 2016, I wonder if they retroactivated that, meaning that they went back and anybody who owed this in the past, they negated that. Though I don't honestly know if they did or not, I truly hope that they did. But folks, did you know there is an entirely different type of pay to stay in jails? This is completely different from the jails charging you per day. And in fact, what this refers to as is where you can actually pay $100 a day to serve your time in what is referred to as a luxury prison cell. Now, from what I've learned about this, this doesn't take place in every single jail. Not every single jail are you going to be able to pay $100 a day to stay in some fancy cell. And I'd really like to know what they mean by a fancy cell, a luxury jail cell. And even though this doesn't take place everywhere, I know one place that this really takes place is in the state of California. And folks, I want to share with you a story that took place back in 2010 involving a guy by the name of Alan Wartzill, who ended up with some bad charges due to Match.com. Boy, Match.com will get you every time. Match.com gonna be the reason why you... I probably shouldn't say that. But one thing led to another on Match.com, and this guy ended up with them bad charges. And not very surprising at all, this guy would only end up with 6 months to serve. Now, I don't really know what the rationale was behind this, but I can imagine it had a lot to deal with this guy's charges and him not wanting to get reprimanded by prisoners once they found out what he was locked up for. Hey, fresh meat, what you up in here for? Well, it's actually a funny story. Have you ever heard of Match.com? But whatever the reasoning was for it, and Alan Musk got him some money for sure, this guy would end up deciding that he was going to spend the entire 6 months, 180 days, in a luxury cell that cost $100 a day. The story says that this guy did his time in the Seal Beaches small city jail with amenities that included a flat screen TV, a computer room, and new beds. Damn, that does sound pretty luxurious. He served 6 months at a cost of $18,250, according to jail record. My God, this man paid 18 grand to avoid getting beat up. Some people really are scared to do time. And this guy probably had good reason to be so as well. And you know, here's one more little tidbit to this whole pay to stay in a luxurious jail cell that I want to share with you. I think you guys are going to find really crazy. An analysis by the Marshall Project and the Los Angeles Times of more than 3,500 people who served time in Southern California's pay to stay program from 2011 through 2015 found more than 160 participants who had been convicted of serious crimes including assault, robbery, domestic violence, battery, bad charges, bad charges, bad worse charges. Why are they letting these type of people participate in this program? Oh wait, that's right. Because it's all about money. That's it. It is all about money and how much of that they can get. You're getting anywhere between $31,000 to $60,000 from the taxpayers per inmate per year. Think about this. Alabama has 16,000 people locked up in that state right now. What is 16,000 times 30,000? There's a crazy number right there. I have no idea what it is, but I can only imagine that's a lot of money. Folks, I really wanted to share this crazy topic with you, and I really want to know what you guys think about all of this. As the saying goes, if you do the crime, you should be able to do the time. Well, what if you can afford to do the time in luxury? Or what if you get locked up in a state that charges you an astronomical amount of money for your time that you're going to be serving there? How is a person supposed to succeed after that? How do they get away with doing this in the first place? This topic raises a lot more questions than answers for me personally. And again, I really want to hear what all of you think about this. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment, letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!